The real pirates of the Caribbean weren't charming rogues with parrots and eye patches. They were desperate, violent, short-lived men who died screaming on gibbets or bleeding out on nameless beaches. Between 1650 and 1730, the Caribbean became a slaughterhouse of empires, privateers, and outlaws. Spain bled gold from the New World. England, France, and Holland sent warships to steal it. In that chaos, piracy exploded not as romance, but as survival. These weren't Disney heroes. Most were ex-sailors, pressed men, runaway slaves, indentured servants who saw no future in honest work. Life expectancy? 3 to 5 years after turning pirate. Average age at death? Under 30. They raided coastal towns, tortured for treasure locations, burned ships with crews aboard. Yet they also built floating democracies that mocked the monarchies hunting them. The truth Hollywood never told. The Caribbean's golden age of piracy was born from colonial cruelty and ended when empires finally decided to stop tolerating it. What if the real pirates were less legend and more symptom of a rotten world? 1650 to 1730. The Caribbean was imperial feeding ground. Spain extracted silver and gold from Potosi and Mexico, shipping it home in treasure fleets guarded by galleons. England, France, Netherlands wanted their cut. They licensed privateers, legal pirates, to harass Spanish ships during wars. When peace came, those privateers refused to stop. They became pirates. The Bahamas, Jamaica, Tortuga turned into pirate bases. Nassau was lawless capital 1715 to 1718. Henry Morgan, Francois Elolanize, Blackbeard, Calico Jack, and Bonny, Bartholomew Roberts rose here. Most pirates were not born criminals. They were press-gang sailors escaping naval brutality, indentured servants fleeing plantations, escaped African slaves joining crews for freedom, disillusioned privateers unpaid after treaties. They created codes: equal vote, equal share, no stealing from messmates, injured compensated. More democratic than any European navy or colony. But life was brutal. Raids meant torture for treasure maps. Captured pirates faced hanging without trial. Average career, 1 to 2 years before death or capture. The Caribbean's pirate era wasn't romance. It was colonial violence turned outward. The pirate myth romanticizes them as free spirits. Reality was harsher. They were symptoms of empire's greed and failure. Spain's monopoly on New World wealth sparked resentment. Privateers like Morgan sacked Portobello in 1668, torturing residents for silver. When treaties ended wars, these men turned pirate, raiding without license. Conflict peaked 1715 to 1725. Post-war of Spanish succession, unemployed sailors flooded the seas. Blackbeard blockaded Charleston in 1718, demanding medicine. Roberts captured 400 ships, declaring war on the world. Empires struck back. Woodes Rogers cleared Nassau in 1718. Naval patrols hanged hundreds. Pirates fought desperately, Bonny and Reed disguised as men, battling to the end. Tension built. Pirates' democracy clashed with their violence. Codes forbade rape aboard but allowed torture ashore. Freedom for some meant enslavement for others. Many crews included former slaves, yet pirates sold captives too. The emotional hit. These rebels mirrored the cruelty they fled. No heroes, just men pushed to edges by a system that valued gold over lives. As pirate power swelled, so did the backlash. By 1720, empires coordinated. Britain passed the Piracy Act, allowing summary executions at sea. France and Spain offered bounties. Governors like Rogers turned Nassau from haven to hell. Pirates adapted or perished. Roberts flew a black flag with death toasting him, capturing ships in broad daylight. Blackbeard ran aground intentionally to escape pursuit, stranding half his crew. Women like Bonny defied norms, fighting fiercer than men. Deeper layers. Piracy exposed colonial hypocrisy. Empires decried pirate violence while committing worse. Slave trade, indigenous genocides, brutal plantations. Pirates, for all their cruelty, offered escape. Multicultural crews, no racial hierarchy aboard, though not always ashore, merit-based rise. Escalation hit climax in chases. Charles Vane evaded capture by setting fire to his own ship. Stede Bonnet, the gentleman pirate, turned from planter to outlaw, only to hang in 1718. Reflections unsettle. Were pirates villains or victims? Their brief democracies hinted at what colonies could be, fair, free, but blood drowned the dream. By 1725, piracy waned. Empires poured resources into suppression. Larger navies, colonial militias, rewards for turncoats. Roberts died in battle 1722. Blackbeard killed 1718. Rackham hanged 1720. Bonny and Reed spared execution. Bonny vanished. Reed died in prison. The twist: piracy didn't end because of morality. It ended when it stopped being profitable for empires to ignore. Peace treaties stabilized trade. Slaves and sugar became bigger business than hunting outlaws. Pirates left a legacy. Myths of buried treasure, codes inspiring modern labor rights, multicultural crews foreshadowing revolutions. But truth cuts deeper. They were products of exploitation. Their violence a mirror to colonial horrors. Reflect. Next time you hear, yo ho ho, remember the gibbets, the floggings, the desperate bids for dignity in a world that offered none. If this unvarnished history hooked you, comment your biggest surprise. Share with a history buff. Subscribe for more myth-busted truths.